Hello everyone, my name is Jean-Michael Bushman and welcome back to Hearthstone, and we're going to rock it again with Wishing Well, but this time in the wild format. This will be our first and continuing exploration into the wild format, which is Hearthstone's non-rotating format, and I've had my run-through of standard with this deck, and there are only like a couple of changes that I had to make, and now that I've shifted over to wild, I have basically decrafted everything that I was using as standard because, I mean, it's fun and all, but I found the wild format to be a lot more fun, surprisingly, compared to standard. Simply because there's just way more powerful shit happening, and I like seeing powerful shit happening. Even if I'm the one losing, seeing it happen, on my opponent's end, or hell, even on my end, it's a really good spectacle to see. So we're going to do a proper deck tech this time, because I didn't do any during my standard foray with this deck. So this is the Wishing for a Win, built more for with the wild format instead, and it's built around Wishing Well, where it's a 5 mana minion. I believe it's a minion because there's no like tag on it like initially, but it has an attack and health, so it's safe to assume that it is a minion. I don't know why a Wishing Well has like sentience, but here we are. So whenever you play a coin, so basically tossing a coin into the well, you get a random legendary from another class, and then you set the cost to 1. So the entire deck is built around getting as many coins as possible, and it has a surprising amount of card draw and or removal, just to protect yourself long enough to get to the Wishing Well turn, as I have called it. And once you get there, hopefully you'll win. If not, then, well, you're shit out of luck, because that's exactly what the Wishing Well does. So to go over the card by card, the two staples here, Preparation and Shadow Step. Preparation is to basically get any of the 2-cost spells, like down to 0 most of the time. And that's basically what it does. It's been a staple in most rogue builds ever since. This, I believe, has been nerfed because this used to say that it reduces them to by 3 mana rather than 2. But don't quote me on that. I am not exactly well versed in the history of Hearthstone. Shadow Step is a card that is as old as the game itself, similar to Preparation. This card has caused a lot of problems, supposedly, over the years, and people have called for it getting nerfed and or banned even. But it has dodged it like a ninja, pretty much. I don't know why I struggle to say the words there, but pretty much like the art is depicting, Shadow Step has pretty much evaded capture from the banhammer ever since day one. So the card itself, its role in the deck is to basically recycle the battle cries of, well, usually it's these two minions in particular, or as a way to save Sonya in case, during the Wishing Well turn, you don't get to kill your opponent. Then moving on to the 1-cost cards, Deafen is a removal tool. Usually, the silence is a good enough floor, but to also deal 2 damage to it, this is sometimes a death nail against certain types of aggro decks, especially Paladin. And good God, aggro Paladin is like all over the ladder, at least in my personal experience. Silencing a minion that buffs all of the other Silverhand recruits, or hell, even buffs all of the other minions they have on board in general, and it takes it away and then also deals 2 damage to them. Sometimes it's usually enough to kill that minion. So this is indispensable. Silence style effects are very few and far in between. If you do get it on a really good and efficient card, you're going to have to craft it, no matter how expensive it is, unfortunately. And then the 3 card draw spells that are in here are Gear Shift, Ghostly Strike, and Gone Fishing. Gear Shift is, I believe, the newest one of the bunch. This is basically card neutral because you use Gear Shift itself, and then you shuffle 2 cards, well, the leftmost cards in your hand, and then you draw 3 new cards. The key word here in Gear Shift is it shuffles. Sometimes you do get the cards you shuffled back, but usually what would happen with this deck is you get probably about 2 new cards out of the deal, so that's usually more than enough. And then the 2 other cards that from what I hear have been staples ever since they were introduced into the game, Ghostly Strike and Gone Fishing. Ghostly Strike can pick off some of the smaller minions, or If you manage to chain together a couple of cards before you use the Ghostly Strike, you get to draw a card as well. So this is a far more efficient draw engine compared to having something as clunky in the 3 mana slot with Knick-Knack Shack. Although with the OTK version of Rogue, this also helps. And similar to Gone Fishing, this can be a draw too if you align the stars right. Well, just a draw one. I don't know why. Dredge usually just adds the card to hand if you have the mana for it. But, having the combo is just additional upside on top of that. So these two cards are basically form the core of like most, if not all, rogue decks in wilds these days. But and you can never really leave home without it. This is like, I mean, it's 240 dust, but it's honestly, well, not even 240. Ghostly Strike is like 40 apiece, so it's 280 dust, so nearly the cost of an epic. But you must never leave home without it, usually. And then probably what I would consider to be the weakest card in the bunch right now is Stick Up. Because this only really discovers quick draw spells, but I can't really bring myself to remove it because the quick draw spells that I usually get from it are surprisingly appropriate for whatever situation that I find myself in. Whether it be a spell that deals with a couple of creatures on board, or hell, even the Heat Wave quick draw where if you get it in your hand that turn, it deals 2 damage to all enemies, and that is surprisingly usually enough for certain matchups. But of course, once stuff like Paladin or hell, even Elemental Mage, once they start buffing their minions beyond the point where you could kill them with a board wipe. And this deck struggles with wide boards, by the way. I mean, it's always been a problem for Rogue, but keeping your opponent off balance long enough in order to do what you need to do, that's what Stick Up is for. And then moving on to the next card, we have Dart Throw. You don't really expect to kill a lot in the mid game with this thing. What you're really after with this thing is to just get the coin. Although, granted, if you do get this in the early game and then you have like a 3 toughness minion on board on your opponent's side, of course, and granted, it's the only target you will have. It's a really good removal tool as well, and it's also pretty goddamn efficient. I mean, if you like prep into Dart Throw, that's like insane value right there. Then moving on to basically the two main creatures, apart from, of course, Sonya, Greedy Partner, and of course the now Wilds exclusive Mailbox Dancer. These two are basically, quite literally, actually, two sides of the same coin. They do essentially the same thing. They enter the board and then they add a coin to your hand. Although Greedy Partner is a little more restrictive because you need another 2-cost card, and there aren't exactly a lot of them in this deck, but the hit rate is usually enough that you will get a coin 90% of the time with Greedy Partner. And of course, Mailbox Dancer just always gives you a coin, but if he dies, then your opponent gets a coin too. But it will come to a point where sometimes it doesn't really matter that your opponent gets a coin, especially if you're like way ahead. At least in the games that I've had with this deck, if you're way ahead and your opponent gets a coin, I don't think it really matters. And speaking of generating coins, O Manager, it doesn't even matter if it doesn't kill your target as long as you get to deal the 2 damage. Because what you're really after with this card is you get a coin, and that's all that matters with this specific deck. Coming up next is Quick Pick. I mean, this has been a staple ever since this was introduced into the game. It's a draw engine, a really cheap one at that. And don't leave home without this. Basically similar to Ghostly Strike and Gone Fishing. If you're just going for a lot of card draw, Quick Pick is one of the ways to go. And I never actually quite realized, I realized that this is a dual class card. It usually first shows up in Demon Hunter before it shows up in Rogue. And you'll only know that once you actually make the card. So never leave home without this. Similarly, there's also Dubious Purchase. It's a little more expensive at 4 mana, but the combo of destroying a random enemy minion cannot be understated, especially if your opponent only has about like 2 minions on board. So it's a 50-50 to actually kill the target that you want dead, but if that fails, you at least get to draw 3 cards. So there is that. But apart from that, yeah, it's a draw 3. It's the biggest, well, biggest in terms of drawing cards. Draw spell, you have in the deck, so you can't quite leave home without. Some builds only have one, but I prefer to have two because I want to have as many cards in my hand as possible, so that when I do indeed get to the Wishing Well turn, I have removal out the wazoo, and of course ways to refuel should the Wishing Well turn fail to kill the opponent. And then, of course, Sonya Water Dancer, because a lot of the stuff that's going to come out of the Wishing Well is going to be cost 1. Sonya just basically creates second copies of all of them. And hell, if she's on the field early and then you also start casting all of the other 1-drops that you have in this deck, she will copy those as well. And they will be discounted, and having a 0-cost stick-up is insane, by the way. And but she is very vulnerable. Once you do plop her down and you don't find a way to safely get her back to hand, or your opponent kills it before you can do too much with her on the board. But she definitely has a very, very huge target on her back if you don't play your cards right. And of course, the namesake of the deck, the Wishing Well, I already explained what it does at the beginning of this deck tech. And the last card in the deck, and the heaviest costed one, is Tess Greymane. She's usually really only here for the post Wishing Well turn, where your opponent somehow wipes your board, and they're feeling like they can breathe a sigh of relief that they've dealt with whatever bullshit that came out of the Wishing Well. And then that's when you use Tess Greymane. She's basically in the deck as a way to recycle everything that just died. Since this deck is it usually ends on a board that's extremely minion centric, you're not going to be recycling a lot of the spells that you quote unquote borrowed from the other classes, because what you'll be focusing on more are the minions. And yeah, that is the deck. Wishing for a win. Hopefully we'll get the minions that we need in the Wilds format, and I have gotten a lot of crazy turns because the Wilds format is so much wider, and you're gonna get a lot more options in this format as well. So without further ado, let's jump into these games.
Patches versus Anduin.
Right away, we're up against Priest, and in case you guys notice here, I am in Platinum now, but don't be fooled by it, because it is not in part because of this deck. It's due to another deck that I have been rocking quite frequently, thanks to a little quirk that I learned as I play in this format. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But we're up against Priest, so this is one of those decks. Now that I see what their quest is. So we're gonna coin it up. We're gonna use Quick Pick here, and we will draw our 1 card. What do we get? We get Gone Fishing. All right, that is actually pretty good. So we'll use Mailbox Dancer to get a coin, and then use. I mean, we don't. Now that I think about it, we don't really need to spend too much mana at this point. We just need to. Oh, he misclicked. I guess he was supposed to forge this guy, and he didn't get it. All right, cool. That is a misplay that will get me somewhere here, and this is actually really goddamn good. Like, holy shit. So we get a coin, and then we'll shadow step him back, and then we'll get another coin. Oh my god. Now at this point, I don't care if my opponent gets his coin, because I'll be doing a lot of other broken stuff once it comes to my turn. So we have preparation for our stick up here, and we're gonna be bing chilling, as the kids say. So he gets Lazul. I'm assuming he's going to get either preparation or stick up, but if he gets a cop, if he's seeing either Wishing Well or Sonya, then he's going to be in oh my god, this is coin rogue. I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking right now. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to stick up now, and then deal 4 damage to a minion, but he only has 1 minion. Why? Why? Oh my god. I mean, I could just get this and then, just get rid of Madame Lazul here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Then we get a little bit of life, and then we can even dredge as well, while he has nothing going on board. Defen could be Gucci here, but another gun fission. But I guess we'll just get Defen for now. It's just insurance for later, and we'll just pass back to our opponent here. We'll get rid of those, and then we'll water some of the plants. And then we'll open that door. We got Blade Master Okani. What does he do? Secretly choose to counter the next minion or spell your opponent plays while this is alive. So, we're going to have to guess if he chose either spell or minion. I'm assuming he chose spell, knowing how rogue operates. So we're going to try to bait it out of him here. We're going to start with preparation. Does he counter that? No, he does not. That is now mildly concerning, which means he is going to be ready for the creatures that are going to drop, pop, and lock on the ground. So we're gonna toss our coins at him, or rather our darts, and then we'll coin it up. And then, do we draw our 3 cards? I mean, we still have 19 cards in deck. He is a Renathal deck, by the way, so who knows what kind of bullshit he has. I guess we draw our 3 here, and then he dies anyway, so there's that. Having another Defen is nice, and having another Stick Up is also nice. So that is more for next turn, and we did draw into another Wishing Well, so we can definitely bait out whatever this counter is. Wait, does it only work? Oh, while it's only alive. Okay, so that is actually fine. And he's playing legendary after legendary, so that's making me think that this is not really a normal priest deck that is built around the quest here to get the void shard. This is more of a Reno deck. Now that I'm thinking about it. So here's what we're going to do. I mean, I think it's a now or never type of turn. So we're just going to put the Wishing Well down, and then we'll just use our 3 coins here. And we're gonna hope and pray that we get something that is going to be useful here. So we get these 3, and who do we get? While it's in your hand, this transforms after you cast a Fire, Frost, or Arcane spell. We sadly do not have any of those, so these are just stat sticks. 1 cost cards in your deck into legendary minions. Excuse me? Okay then, so we're going to get Stitch and Sew. We're going to get 3, and I made a mistake with this last time, so we're just going to get stuff that we need. So we're going to get True Heart, we're going to get this guy, and we're also going to get this guy. I don't know, we don't have anything else here. We ran out of time, sadly, but I don't think my opponent is presenting too much pressure yet, so I think that's fine. So there is that. We did exactly waste the 2 coins, but I think we'll still be fine? Question mark. So we're going to see here. See, that's the thing with me and these Wishing Well decks, because I have to spend a lot of time reading and trying to see if they even like fit into whatever is happening on board at the moment. So but now my opponent is doing the same thing to me, and who the hell knows what they got here. Talgath is surprisingly appropriate for this exact situation. Not because Backstab will deal 4 damage here. Because of Talgath, and then he summons the first one, which is Justice Shard True Heart. Why did I say Justice Shard? It's just Justicar, but we don't get her Battle Cry, sadly. So, but she is a 6/4, so there is that. But now, I think we should silence his Wishing Well, so that he doesn't get any other forms of value out of it. We'll definitely need to use True Heart here to get rid of Raza, so that we don't take too much damage moving forward. So we're going to do that. There we go. She dies, and then we get the 4/3. That is surprisingly also decently statted. I am not quite sure what other minions we have in the deck, so we'll just play it all and hope to the gods that we get something decent out of it. Alright, so we get these 2. Again, these are just stat sticks. Now we're going to silence his well, and then we will silence Talgath. No, I don't think we should. We need to silence Talgath here. This is actually even better. We will lay down the law on Talgath instead. So he gets reduced to being a 1/1, and then pop gets popped as well. As much as I want to use gear shift here, I think we'll be fine for the time being. Knowing that what my opponent is rocking now, I think we have time. Well, I think we barely have time. So he basically got rid of all of the stuff that Liam added, and ooh, we had Barnes as well, and wow, there were only 4 cards that were 1 cost left in the deck. That is okay. I mean, we didn't lose too much value from that at least, but it's still, it still like sucks, but at least we didn't lose too much. But now we need to get rid of this 5/5 because that will suck a bunch. So we trade into there, we trade into here, and then Liam swings in for our 5. Now we will use, I guess we should use preparation and then draw our 3 cards because we literally have nothing else to do with the mana here. Because we haven't generated coins in a long while. Now I think about it. No, there's a way to get coins. So we'll get this. We'll get in for the 2 there. We get a coin, and then we use quick pick, and we draw our 1 card. There we go. All right. We get another O manager, so that's Gucci. Sadly, because of the 10 points of extra health that Renathal gives, I don't think we'll be able to kill our opponent before they get to their Reno turn, which is highly likely soon, given what they've been doing here. Okay, yep, discover the Void Shard, so they'll be getting the Void Shard very shortly here. They just need to play a 7 and 8 cost minion, and Reno is an 8 cost if I remember correctly. And Gear Shift, yep, he's definitely going to be looking for Reno now because I believe he is feeling the pulse that I have another Wishing Well in hand, so he's going to want to bank against that as much as possible. Okay, we will draw 1 card first, and knowing that they could be getting to Reno soon, we're going to play just slightly conservatively here. So we're gonna get him out, then we will get another coin off of that, and then we will save all of our other stuff for much later. I'm not going to do anything else now, so we're just going to pass back to our opponent, and we're going to see what they do here. So I think if discover a copy, okay, from hand or deck, I believe. Let's see. I'm going to find out what exactly that card was once it resolves. Hand and deck. Okay. So that's fine. So they do that, and what are you gonna do? Okay, Shadow Step, so you can cycle it back. Okay then, so that means I still have a Shadow Step in the deck. Okay then, so there's that, and False Disciple, so he's going to get a legendary priest minion, whoever that will be. I'm assuming it's going to like turn the game around somewhat, but we're gonna find out soon enough here. So using the coin there, sure. Or what I could do is I could just just do the Wishing Well turn like as is, and still somehow pop off in spite of everything. So we're gonna do first. We're gonna trade here. I don't care if he gets a coin. Now we're going to get another coin out of the greedy partner. There we go. And then we're going to play this. And I realize I don't have enough mana. Shit. I guess we're just going to bank on Dart Throw giving us another coin here, now that I think about it. So, boop, boop, and we do need to get another coin. Hope for the best and expect the worst. Let's do this. Sadly, Sonya, you're not going to get any action today, so coin, not yet, hold on. Coin, then coin. And, ooh, Spurfang could have been so useful. If your deck has no duplicates, the next spell you cast this turn costs 0. That is not useful in the slightest. Draw 3 cards. Put any minions you drew directly onto the battlefield. That is not helpful in the slightest. So we're just going to put down all of these creatures. Oh my god. Just put them all down. Put them all down. Put them all down. Put them all down. There we go. And we're just gonna kill this because we can. And there we go. All right. My board is full, opponent, and if you have a board wipe, then so be it. I still have Varian Win in hand, although I am down to 2 cards in deck, so fatigue is going to start. And as predicted, they did indeed have a Reno, and now that I'm realizing it, I have barely scratched my opponent here. Okay then, yes, I am indeed low on cards. You don't need to remind me, deck. Also game. I think we're going to die shortly. But we're gonna see here. We don't really need Sonya at this point because we decided to pop off at that turn. So we're just going to do it like this. We're going to draw our last 3 cards by shuffling these 2 in, and then just slowly but surely dying to fatigue here. So we're going to see how far my opponent takes it here. Again, I've barely scratched my opponent because they're a Reno deck. So they've survived this long, and they're not a warrior, so there is that. Yep, Raza once again. Yep. Then using the Reno bullets to slowly but surely whittle me down. And then, yep, healing himself, sure, up to 31. I actually forgot that he's a Renathal deck. Oh my god. So we'll start taking fatigue here. I think I should lead with Death first, now that I think about it. And just let the rest of the deck do its thing. So we're gonna see. Of course, he is down to 1 mana, but he still has plenty of cards in deck, so he could still be planning something else here. We're gonna find out soon enough. He can't attack yet, but he's definitely going to do a lot of value stuff. And I'm already gonna tell you guys, I have pretty much lost this one. This deck, as fun as it is, it's a little too slow to kill. Especially if your opponent finds ways to basically get over the hump. But I'm still gonna play this out because I still have Tess, I still have a Sonya. This could still go somewhere, but I am not too confident about my odds. I'll just see you guys either at the next interesting point or at the beginning of the next game, because once the opponent has turned into Reno, that usually spells the end. So I'll just see you guys there.
Patches versus Uther.
We're up against Paladin, so I am already not confident about our odds in the slightest. We have a Wishing Well, so that's usually good, but against Paladin, we might not even have a turn 4 here. Paladin is what I would call the White Weenie version of Hearthstone. White Weenie is a deck archetype in Magic the Gathering where it's small creatures, and they usually go very, very wide, usually bypassing a lot of the removal that the opponent could potentially have, just because they have so many critters on board. And that's usually a rogue-ish deck in Magic the Gathering, but here in Hearthstone, it's like one of the terrors of the non-rotating format here. Excuse me. But we're up against the Libra version of it, and that is even scarier because they don't even rely on their board getting wide. They're just worried about their board getting big. So we're gonna get in for our very few points of damage that we will highly likely only be getting for this game. And I don't think we'll be getting too much out of this game here. Unless, of course, I outvalue him with the Wishing Well turn, whenever that will be. And we'll just ring the gong again. And we're going to see what my opponent has for me here. They just played the 1 Libram they have so far. And, or rather, they just searched a Libram. No, they didn't search a Libram. They reduced the cost of a Libram. And good God, this card is it just came out and it's already making an impact in both the rotating and non-rotating formats. It's insane. There it is, Interstellar Slicer. Yep, further reducing the cost of Librams, and we're just gonna keep going here. Ooh, that is fine, but we don't want that yet, unfortunately. We're pretty much a ways away from this, so we're just gonna gear shift for now, then shuffle those 2 away and hopefully draw into something better. Quick pick is nice, and so is O Manager. So we're just going to use Gone Fishing for later. So we're just gonna use O Manager here, get another coin, and we'll use Quick Pick next turn alongside the Gone Fishing. But of course, if my opponent presents something far more dangerous, then we'll use Stick Up on that turn instead. But for now, I think we're pretty safe. They haven't put down any minions just yet, but if they're just now that I think about it, they haven't put down any minions at all. Not even like using their hero power here. I think it's because they haven't reduced the cost of their Librams to 0, which is the main way that this version of Paladin does their thing. Okay, they drew a spell, and it will definitely cost 0, but okay, they're gonna attack first, of course, further reducing the cost, and there it is. Libram of Divinity is the primary way that this deck just does its absolute bullshit. So we're gonna see what Stick Up yields for us here, and Lay Down the Law is exactly what I need. Okay, go down to 1, and die. There we go. Alright. And now we will dredge it up, and let's see what's at the bottom of our deck. Another draw spell and test as well, so we're just gonna get Ghostly Strike and be happy with it. So we pass back to our opponent here, and I'm still not confident about our odds here, given that this is Libram Paladin. But we're gonna see. I mean, we're doing fine so far, just fighting for the board as much as possible. But again, they could swarm out of control, like exactly like right now. They have Rush, but if this they have Rush. Okay, that is the worst possible scenario that could happen here. So we're gonna get our coin first, and then we will use Quick Pick here to draw our own. Yeah, I mean they're not blockers, but it's still like it's not nothing, unfortunately. So we draw one card. There's the Wishing Well, but I think that's too little, too late here. So we get Gear Shift again. This is only like 3, 6, 9 damage. We're at 24. We can survive for maybe 1 turn, but knowing Libram Paladin, they'll just buff their board to near lethal, and my prediction that we only have 1 turn left will hold true. So we're gonna see here. And now that I think about it, my opponent is doing things very deliberately. They're not like just throwing out buffs to their minions here and there. I think they drew into the wrong like combination of cards, thus making just making it end on this. And in spite of that, I think it's more than enough. So we'll just put our Wishing Well down, and alright, can't attack. So we'll draw one card first. O Manager is something, but we're gonna coin it up here. There we go. Let's see who we get. Snake Eyes, and then Huntsman Altamore. Summon a Gargon Companion. Infuse. We haven't infused that much yet, unfortunately. This guy is a 4/8 taunt. Restore 5 health to awaken this minion. We don't exactly restore health here. So we'll just get a taunt minion down, and we'll get Snake Eyes down as well. And let's see what we get. We get a 5 and 3. What do we get for our 3? After you play a battle cry or combo card. That is insane, by the way. Archdruid, Naralex, Wild Dormant. Hold on. Get that out of the way. Add a dream card to your hand at the end of the turn. Nah, we'll just get the field contact. Then we'll get a 5-cost card. What do we get for our options? AFK is something, but Sandbox Scoundrel is way, way better, unfortunately. Then we use O Manager to get rid of this one. I mean, granted, they want it dead, but I think that's fine. We ran out of time, sadly. We weren't able to save the Wishing Well, so if it dies, it dies. But I think that's fine, because our hand is pretty stacked otherwise. So there is that. We're gonna see here. I mean, we should play this guy out first, and then just use the coins to turbo out the Sandbox Scoundrel, so that we draw at least 2 cards out of this. So we're gonna see. But we're gonna see. Okay, there it is. Draw 2 minions. It just cost 0. Yep, the 2 minions he drew are okay, he wasn't able to get that. That weapon is like he had another one in hand anyway. But it's still a taunt minion, so there is that. And then I'm assuming he's going to use the rest of his board to clear whatever is left. Yeah, I am definitely not confident about my odds from this point, and we're down to 15, so we will be dead probably in short order here. Yeah, 4, 3, so yeah. Oh, attacking the well instead. That is interesting, opponent. I probably could have done that some other way, but okay, if that's your choice, then so be it. So we're going to sadly have to trade here. Infuse 1, so we need 1 more minion to die, sadly. So that's combo. We'll get to draw 4, now that I think about it. I think we should just turbo out the Sandbox Scoundrel. So that we'll further reduce the cost of dubious purchase by a lot. Yeah, there we go. Yep, preparation is exactly what I was looking for here. So we do this. And then we are out of mana. Why? Oh wait, because it only checks the spell. Okay, that is definitely a punt on my part. So we'll just put this back to hand, and we will shamefully die at the hands of my opponent. Let's just go on to the next game.
Hatches versus Sageres.
We're up against a Warlocks, and the Warlocks that I've been facing this high up on the ladder only does one thing and one thing only, and that is Demon Seed. We have a lot of card draw, way too much card draw, now that I'm thinking about it. Stick Up is, they don't exactly have too many minions, so I don't think that'll be a problem. We do need a way to find the things that we need, and we have a coin, so there is that. And we will refund we'll basically refund the coin back once we have all manager, but I don't think we'll do that. Behold, indeed. Okay, fine, you're gonna greet and I will greet as well, and then we'll squelch you afterwards. So we're just gonna activate a bit of the field here, and there we go. Heart of the... Oh, okay, so this is not Demon Seed, because you usually don't see that in Demon Seed Warlock. So we're just gonna do this, and then we'll get there. We'll get our coin, and you know, if you want to trade, then I'm more than happy to do so. It's 3 points of damage that's not directed at my face, so there is that. We'll just eat away at whatever these are. I'm pretty sure these aren't supposed to be edible, but someone has been eating at it. I'm pretty sure, like, it's one of the... I'm also pretty sure, like, this field right here came out during League of Explorers, which is, I mean, it's a set that I haven't really played in. But we're gonna see here. Do I wanna use Pocket Sand? I don't think so. Not yet. We'll just draw 1 card with this thing. We're gonna see what shakes loose. Oh, right, that was our first card. Shit. So I should have led with Mailbox Dancer now that I think about it. We didn't draw a card, but I think we'll be fine. I mean, we still have Gear Shift here. Good God, this video has been like one misplay after another. Sure, that is fine. He already did his job by giving me a coin. We are literally only looking for Sonya and the Wishing Well at this point, so we're gonna see how far we get here. My opponent is playing with starships and demons, so we're gonna see how much of it matters to him. Alright, we got another copy of Stick Up, so we're gonna stick it up again. Does he have a minion on board? No, he does not. Okay then. In that case, we will lay down the law, and we will use... Yeah, we'll trade it away, and let's see what shakes loose. We get Tess. Not exactly what I would have wanted, but we'll just go for our 2 points of damage here and be happy with it. So we have 4 coins. All we need now is Sonya and or the Wishing Well, and hopefully we'll get a pop-off turn soon here. Right, Foreboding Flame and Fellfire Thrusters, sure. These are decently sized bodies, but nothing that I am too concerned about. So we'll use the other Stick Up here, and we get Pocket Sand. Alright, that's such a fun thing to say, Pocket Sand. And this gives my opponent a small tax of 1 more mana during their turn, so that is something to be concerned about. No, we're just gonna use our hero power next turn. So we'll just you know, reduce this to 1 HP so that it'll be easy pickings for much later. And okay, yeah, this is already like pretty heavy on coins. I don't want to have this many coins, sadly. Granted, if we draw like a wishing well soon, then we will be popping off. Uh, that is not what I want, unfortunately. I think we're going to need to use the gear shift here, the leftmost gear shift. We'll get those 2 coins back, so they're just gonna get shuffled into the deck, and let's see what we get. We get Dubious Purchase and Dubious Purchase, and there's the Wishing Well, but I think now is go time. Yeah, I think now is go time, unfortunately. So we're gonna do it now, and let's see what we get. Alright, we get a coin. Toss it in. Let's see what we get. We get wherever that is. Then we get this. And then let's see. Okay. Costs 1 if your hand is full. My hand isn't exactly full, but he already costs 1. If you gain 50 armor, gain +3/+3 in charge. So he's just a stat stick. If your deck has no duplicates, he deals 10 damage randomly split among all minions. These are all just stat sticks to me, so we're just gonna plop them all down and pass our turn to our opponent. There we go. I have a board, but it's not exactly something you would call a winning turn. But hopefully it'll make my opponent quick in their boots just a little. There we go. All right. He summoned 2 6/6s. That is. Ouchies. What the hell? Spell burst. Oh, it was a spell burst. Okay. So getting rid of Acheron there, and I'm assuming attacking into the Wishing Well. No, just going straight to face. Okay then. You do you, opponent. You do you. Alright. Shall we pray for the 50-50? Probably not. So that happens, and then Reno does this. There we go. Do we go for the 50-50? I guess we go. 50-50. What do we get? Well, we remove both, so that's something. But I could have had something else instead. Okay, we get a coin instead. Sure, that is fine by me. So we use the coin here. What do we get off the well? Ooh. Ooh. This is actually fine. This is actually fire. So this is like a mini nuke, like that goes off every time we cast a spell or two. All right, we got Sonya as well. Tale will survive a lot of things anyway, but what we need to have back in hand is the Wishing Well. It'll be reduced by 2, so it's now a 3. So this is now just a 7-mana play, and yeah, we're going to leave Hale on the board for the time being. Simply because she will take a lot of the aggro that will be more reserved for the Wishing Well Sonya combination instead. So there is that. Defen is nice. I think what we should do here first is, as much as I want to use Gear Shift, we need Tess, unfortunately. So we're going to start by Dart Throw, 50-50, hit only 1 target. No, we do not. But Hale does a equally decent job. So there is that. So we attack into there, and then we will silence the queen so that she won't summon her 2 underlings at the same time. Then that happens as well. And then, do we use Dubious Purchase now? I guess we should. So that Hale will deal a further 4 damage to my opponent here. And we get even more coins as well. And we're gonna trade this away. Hopefully get the other coin that we shuffled into the deck. Preparation is something. Do we do that just so that we can reduce him down to 2? I guess we... No! We can kill him now! Now that I think about it. Just do this, and then just spend the coin. Because the coin is also a spell! Yay! We actually won once! I already have the moral victory here. I won with this meme deck once, and that is good enough for me. Oh my god. We're gonna end it here. We're gonna end off on a high note. We're not gonna do anything further than this. Oh my god. Oh, this deck. I mean, again, it's a meme deck. You're not really supposed to take this like this high up on the ladder. I have been climbing the ranks with another deck instead, but the fact that I'm able to steal even at least 1 game is just saying something. We're gonna cut it here, and there will be more in the future with this deck, or you know, probably the other deck that I used to climb the ranks with. So if you guys like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.